What is going on out there, fight fans? This is the From a Fan's Perspective podcast. We want to say we appreciate you guys for going on this audio adventure with us today. I'm your boy JB. I'm here with my co-host.
Good boy, Mr. What's good?
And we're back with another episode. This is episode 9 of the From a Fan's Perspective podcast, where we talk everything MMA news and UFC related. So, well, first, before we start out with that, man, just how you doing, mister? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Just healing up, trying to heal this rib.
Yeah.
Been chilling.
Still got the rib injury because you had a fight coming up. You were training for it.
Yep. I'm going to pull out King now. Darren Till move aside. You know, it was supposed to be on the 2nd, but since I got the rib injury, they canceled the fight. Hopefully I can get something rebooked and, you know, schedule something and be able to get in there for my first time. It would have been a kickboxing match.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And they haven't said anything yet about...
No. I don't even know like how long it's gonna take to heal up. That's the thing. Like usually, the last time I hurt my rib, it took like 3-4 weeks. But this time it's not healing as well, so I'm kind of trying to take it easy. I still been going to practice and everything, but I just haven't been rolling hard. Hopefully it heals up quick though. It's better than it was, but it's still not 100%.
Okay, well. Since I've known you, I know this ain't your first injury. Getting ready for something like this, but
I'm Dom Cruz Jr., man.
Now you get through it though, man.
For sure.
And then get that win, get that dub.
Yep.
Everything be good. But speaking of, you know, injuries with fighters and things like that, first thing I wanted to jump into was the bare knuckle fight that we were talking about off air. That we can jump into. You have the guy's name?
Yep. Fighter named Justin Thornton.
Yep, and that's in bare knuckle.
Yeah, in bare knuckle boxing. He fought against another guy who was like 11-1 in MMA and a pretty good fighter overall. And this Thornton guy, his record was really bad. Like he had a losing record, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a complete mismatch. But this whole thing is weird. Like, I guess it happened a month ago, which is what we were just reading about, and he ended up dying. But this brings me to like believe that other promotions aren't taking care of their fighters as well as like the UFC does. Because has anybody died from the UFC after a fight?
Not in recent time. No.
I don't think so.
I think there has been.
There might have been
but
that were
recently.
missing, but you know, since UFC's gotten their stuff together, I don't think that's happened, and it's happened in boxing.
Yeah, it's definitely happened.
It's
in
happened
boxing.
in bare knuckle boxing, and in Bellator, there's been some bad injuries too, and like with the cyborg with his head got kicked in, basically.
I think that was just like a freak thing though.
Yeah, it really was, but it's still like, man, these like other promotions are having really, really bad injuries, and the UFC, which is the top promotion in the game, they're really not having too bad injuries besides like the calf or the shins and whatever breaking in half.
Well, I'm gonna say this. It's a little bit of devil's advocate, but my opinion as well. I think the UFC is really good at hiding what the severity of injuries are, and I think fighters don't necessarily want to talk about it. But like I go back to, I remember when Brandon Schaub said he had seen John Jones after the Gustafsson fight.
Oh man,
here we go. We getting started, baby. Here we go.
You need to just say initials.
Oh man,
the AG fight.
It's coming soon. I knew it, man. I apologize because he's one of my favorites to watch. But after the fight, he said that he could see like neither fighter could barely move, and John was like being carted off, and those are things that fans aren't, you know, able to see.
Right.
But I'm sure it happens regularly.
Yeah.
I'm sure it happens all the time. And I think other promotions, I think in a way, this is gonna sound bad, but just in a way, it's kind of like promotion for them. You know, if you have a guy that's really hurt or died, that gets your name out there.
Yeah,
it's negative, but
it's bad. Yeah, but
some people believe no such thing as bad press.
Right? They say all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah,
that's what Floyd basically said too. And it's like, it is bad to say, but it sounds stupid, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
When the more eyes you get on you, you're gonna have people hating anyways. Even if it is good publicity, you're gonna have people hating anyway. So why not just get that however you can, you know? So I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think that the UFC they keep things under wraps, and you know, I'm seeing that thing with watching the journey that Nick Diaz went on leading up to his fight with Robbie Lawler.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of had me thinking about you know, fighters after fighting, you know, where they're at mentally and what type of resources are out there for them that they know are available to them. And you know, with Nick, it just seems like he kind of struggled. You know, I feel like because the UFC had to they had to promote the fight, right? So even when Nick was kind of like pretty much telling you, hey, I don't want to be in there. They spun it as, oh, this is always Nick. This has always been Nick. But when he gets in there,
all fighters think like this.
Yeah. But when they get in there, they're gonna fight. You know, and I'm sure Dana was pissed that Nick was talking like that.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wanted to hear that, and it was actually, you know, it sucked to hear it. And then I seen that Robbie Lawler after the fight was asking Nick like, "Yo, is everything okay? Is everything good in life?" I
seen that,
and he didn't respond. So it's like something that everybody kind of knows, and you hear about it. I mean, we've discussed fighter pay, and things like that. And
did you see the press conference where Dana was saying that that the fighters are allowed to tell you what they make if they wanted to?
No.
He basically, so he does a press conference after Contender Series every Tuesday, I think it is.
That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah, but it's on YouTube and everything. It's part of the Mac Life. But they were asking him questions about like fighter pay and how like De La Hoya tweeted about Alexander Volkanovski and all of that, and he was saying these guys can tell you what they make if they wanted to. And then he said something about Kevin Holland on how he took those 5 fights last year and won all of them and made a ton of money. And I was just like, because he likes to call people out, right? So Dana White, he likes to make people look like liars, but people don't fact check him. Like, I don't think these guys are allowed to discuss their pay. If they were, there would be at least a couple that are saying something like, bro, I only made $30,000 this whole year. Like,
well, you can see their pay
on what? That's not their contract pay though. That's only pay-per-view buys and certain shares for like.
No, it shows which fight. That's how I found out that some fighters were only making like $5,000.
It doesn't, but that's only for like sponsors and stuff like that. That's not what's in their contract.
No, this is what the fighter, like, there's literally, this was like 2 years ago. Like the first time I seen it, there was a fighter. It literally was like $5,000 guaranteed, and then if you win, you get an extra 10, and then like you can get a $50K bonus if you like get performance of the night.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't think that's what's in their contract though. Because I saw that with you remember Jorgen De Castro, how he fought. I forget who he fought, but he got beat up.
Hardy.
Yeah, he got beaten up, and then they said that he only made 10K that fight. But I don't think that's what like was in his contract. I think that's what he made for like making it to the fight, because you get show money, you get sponsorship money, you get.
They don't really get sponsorships no more.
Well, no, not for their own sponsors, but they can get like Volkanovski. I guess he made like $40K for just walking out with like wearing the Monster brand shirt or whatever it was, and they get paid for that. Like if they wear a certain shirt, which is now it's what's the brand now? Venom. Yeah. That's what I meant. Venom, not Monster. But if they wear that Venom shirt to the cage, they get paid for that.
But they have to wear that shirt.
They have to.
So I think that and then they also get paid for
Monster when they hold that empty can of Monster after the fight.
But that's all calculated in there. Like I think that's calculated into Jorgen's 10K.
I don't think so.
You think he?
I think that
you
was
think he
what
makes
it was.
more than $10,000?
Yeah.
As a spot.
Not as sponsors. I mean, I think that was what he made, 10,000 for those sponsors and whatnot. Because there's like 3 or 4 different sponsors, and then I think he got paid what was in his contract also. So I'm saying that he made more than 10K. Now it might not have been that much more, but I'm pretty sure he made more than 10K. There's no way he only made 10K.
I think that fighters are broke. I think there's a lot of fighters that I'm being honest. I think we make more than a lot of fighters.
Oh,
no. I think we do.
No.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of fighters that only make like 10, 20K. I really like when you see that 20K or 10K or whatever like
what
that.
What do you mean just because they're like only taking like a fight or two a year?
I was going to flex our little annually pay, but we're nowhere near where we need to be.
No.
But even if a guy takes, he takes 3 to 4 fights a year and he only gets paid 10K, that's less than us,
Yeah.
So like I really don't. And then like I said, the UFC is still very new. It's not making as much money as people think. Yes, you see that like Dana's a billionaire now, and the Furtado brothers and things like that are billionaires, but who else is making money?
Right.
So I think that they deserve their money. They created it, of course. Imagine if there was 3 people that invented boxing. They'd be the richest people in the world. You know what I'm saying? So of course he's going to be a billionaire, but that don't mean that money, there's enough money to be shared down to people to where everybody's millionaires at this point.
Exactly. And that's what people need to understand.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer. Like it is what it is. It's the market value. If I create something and then I throw out a value that I think you're worth and you don't think you're worth that, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you come here, this is what you get paid. There's nothing wrong with that.
Don't sign it if you don't like it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Like and then there's there's nothing capped in the fight business. There's opportunity we see the famous little quote that when Conor 60 G's baby, like like that man started, he was celebrating $60,000 and we see where Conor's at now.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't understand about the whole, we need to get paid. No, you need to find out what you're doing to increase your market value.
Yep.
Because it's there. If the value's there, Dana, you're gonna get paid. It's not like Dana sees potential and he caps you at 10K.
Right. Exactly.
It is what it is. And I think that as UFC grows 20 years from now, I think fighters will get more money. I wish they could get their own individual sponsors.
I know that's the one thing that I wish.
Can they get it outside in their own life?
So I don't think so.
Well, I seen Jerry Cannonier's
the thing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that he's a big on the CBD with a certain company.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that he's sponsored by that company.
Maybe, I don't know.
So
I know for sure that like certain fighters who have podcasts and whatnot, they'll stop in the middle of their podcast just to do basically a commercial where they do go to betdsi.com and then they'll start talking about it. And that's different, but different. They're still sponsored by something other than what's UFC owned. So,
but that's a different job though, too.
Partnered with the UFC at least. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean. Like outside of that, I don't think they just have sponsors just based like
they don't get. Well, they would get free Venom stuff, right?
Yeah. So. But
ain't nothing wrong with Venom.
The way that I do too, but not the way that it used to be. I like the whole sponsor thing because you could make so much money. That's how Schaub was balling out because he wasn't that good of a fighter. He just was making so much money off of sponsors because he had 10,000 sponsors on his shorts and they was paying him and he was making good money from it. So.
I think that was just a money thing with Dana or just control to be able, because it's in boxing. You can't say I don't want people to have sponsors because it might get carried away. It gets a little crazy in boxing. Guys will literally have their whole back painted, but but it's never gotten out of control. And I think that's fun. We talked about that a couple times. I feel like there's no individuals in the UFC except Conor and Khabib. I guess, but everybody, and I mean,
it's just harder. It's harder to stand out just because you can't.
Look at the Diaz brothers; they're the most, and that's why they're the biggest fan favorite because they're individuals. Because
they do what they want. Yeah, they run the show.
So I think that you should be able to see more of who fighters are as people, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon, though, unfortunately.
Nope.
So and prayers go out to that guy's family who passed away, Justin Thornton. Regardless if he shouldn't have been in there, that's it sucks, and I'm assuming that that's something that is on every fighter's mind when they step into the cage, into the ring. I mean, I even think about it in jiu-jitsu, to be honest. Like,
that's a little extreme.
Man, you know me, man.
Yeah.
You never know. So, but let's jump into something else and let's talk a little bit about Dan Hooker.
Moving on.
Yes,
we got Dan Hangman Hooker, man. The rightful BMF.
You've been talking about this guy.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy because, and I'm not like the biggest Dan Hooker fan or nothing like that. I like him. I like his personality actually because he is funny and he like knows what to say. But as far as his fighting style, he's gonna get tore up by Islam. Like I don't see a path to victory for him in this fight. Like he's a good striker, but Islam's not bad.
No, he's not. He's good enough to get to where he needs to get to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Just like how Khabib was.
How tall is Islam?
5'11".
Okay,
yep. so 5'11" and 6 foot. Yeah, so it's not
gonna be bad.
Yeah, but this is cool though. It's cool to see people that are like he's like the new age cowboy. Like I always like that. If they offer you a fight, take it because you're gonna have to beat these guys anyways.
Right.
And later they're gonna be better. So like why not catch him now when you might catch him slipping? Get
and
him
at
now
this point, it's like who hasn't Dan Hooker fought?
Exactly.
So he's getting to that point.
Yeah, he got a list of murderers on his record. So yeah, I think it's cool that he took it, and I think it's a win-win for him because if he loses, Islam's the best guy after Khabib, or Islam's the next best champ. He's supposed to win, and if he wins, it's like I just beat Islam. I should be fighting for a belt.
Right.
So it's a win-win for him. He really, I mean, even though he's only on a 1-fight win streak, it's still playing.
It'll give him a lot of momentum.
Yeah, it's still playing in his favor for sure.
So is that just your opinion, like for Dan Hooker, or are you just a big fan of short notice fights? Like, do you think guys should more take the opportunity in what they are?
I do. I like short notice fights because this goes for any type of sport really. If you know that you got it coming up, you think about it a lot, and when you think about it too much, you start playing out scenarios in your head that throw you off. It throws your game off. And if you know you're already good and you don't have to think about certain extra things or like little stupid details, then you can go in and be you, and that'll help you. That's why a lot of short notice guys win. Like I'm not saying like a big amount but a lot of short notice guys have pulled off victory. Like Nate against Conor.
I knew that was
like there's so many.
Gonna say that.
I knew you was waiting for me to say that because you're a Nate lover, man.
I'm not surprised.
No, but a lot of these short notice guys do well in fights because they don't have time to overthink it and overtrain for these fights.
Yeah.
So I do like the short notice fights.
Overthinking is huge. Self-doubt, stress. Those things are big, not even just in fight, just in anything competitive.
Yep. Like
being in there and just being able to be free is a big thing.
It's important.
Yeah. I like short notice fights. It's most of the time they're pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Because then those guys go in there and they throw like they have nothing to lose because then they're thinking like I have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
But when you're going in there and you're like, I've trained 8 weeks, I had the best camp ever, weight cut's good, and all of this, then it's like, okay, you're doing too much, and now we know like you're tired because you've been training for so long.
Right.
8 weeks is too long. Like I'll say this even if I ever get into the UFC or MMA, a big MMA promotion, 8 weeks is too long. You need time to train, but you also need to like chill out some too. Like you don't want to overwork yourself, because then you go into the fight tired and you're all discombobulated. So
Right.
I think 5-6 week camp is good, and even that to me is long because I'm thinking about it too much. So
I like I was watching Embedded, and God, I can't even, now I'm not gonna be able to remember his name, but it was the night before the fight and they all went and played basketball at the hotel. Like they had a basketball court there, and I thought that was pretty cool, because I'm like, that's like one of the best things to do before something like that. And I can see like even with me wanting to do jiu-jitsu tournaments, going to do jiu-jitsu tournaments, like before the actual tournament, it's like I need to do something else. I can't just sit
that. Yeah, you can't think about
lay
that.
there all day,
right?
You know, or like, so that plays a big factor in fights. And this is a fight I'm gonna, you know, I don't think Hooker's gonna win either, but you never know. And like with him, even the fight with Nazareth, neither one knew if they were gonna actually make the fight.
Exactly.
So things like that, like it kind of like, I'm sure you have the stress of, am I gonna fight or am I not gonna fight? But when you really look down to it, it's like, well, I wasn't stressing over what is this guy gonna do and what am I gonna do.
Yep.
You know, and those things can help you. So let's stay on the topic of short notice fights and jump over to Corey Sandhagen, who recently lost to TJ Dillashaw, but he's getting a short notice interim title fight against Peter Yan.
The Sandman. Enter the Sandman. They I think the only reason they gave him this is because TJ's hurt. And then also people look at Peter Yan as the rightful champion, right?
Well, for you, do you think TJ would have took this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I think people look at Peter Yan as the rightful champion of the 135 division, and that's why Sandhagen was so like happy about fighting him, because for Sandhagen this is perfect. If he beats Peter Yan, he just beat the guy who beat the guy that beat him, and then he has a fight with the guy who beat him, so he can try to redeem that loss. He just beat the guy who everyone thinks is the rightful champion, and he gets to try to redeem himself against the champion of the division. And I think that's perfect for him. Like, and I was watching Ariel's interview with Corey Sandhagen, and he was basically saying that because a lot of people think Sandhagen won that fight, and he was like I think this is the universe playing correcting itself. Like, it's basically saying, oh, well, you should have been given that decision anyway, so we're just going to give you this fight. And
sounds good.
I was about to say, it sounds good, but I honestly scored for TJ.
I did too.
So, I don't know.
Close fight, though.
Yeah, it was really close.
Fight.
Yeah, it was really close, so I'm not mad that he got the title, the interim title fight, but I think they could have went with somebody better like Rob Font, or maybe even like, I don't know, like even Jose would have been a better option, but they've already fought, so I think that played a part in it too. But yeah, man, it'll be a good fight, and honestly, I could see Sandhagen winning. There's a lot of key paths to victory for him in here because it's gonna be a stand-up fight.
This is a perfect matchup for him.
Yep, it's gonna be a stand-up fight, and he's a longer guy, and that's perfect.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to if he can keep the distance.
Yep.
And
he throws them knees up the middle so clean though. But Peter Yan is just really good.
Job of closing the D.
Pause.
No, you didn't let me finish.
No, man.
No, look. I wasn't gonna say distance, but I wasn't gonna. No, chill out. I wasn't gonna say distance, but I stopped myself because I was gonna say closing the defense. And I was like,
that doesn't even make sense.
That's why I didn't say it. I said closing the and I was like, wait, I can't say closing the defense. I meant closing the distance.
Oh man!
But he does a great job of closing the distance and getting guys near the cage, and that's not where Corey Sandhagen wants to be at all. You know, he's definitely gonna lose the fight.
Do you think that since this is quote unquote short notice, do you think that Peter Yan is gonna go in and use a grappling heavy style just because he was training for a grappler? Because he was supposed to fight Aljo, and Aljo's a grappler. So
I can see him.
And he's Russian, so of course he's good at wrestling.
If you watch any tape on Corey Sandhagen, you want to grapple, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So Peter Yan has the option because I think he can stand with Sam. I'm just a Peter Yan fan like that. I think he can stand with him.
I think he's good.
So I think that he can test the cardio of Corey Sandhagen. He did go 5 rounds, but he did look tired.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna end up becoming a grappling. I don't even want to say like him taking him down, just wearing on him, just staying on him like that. That's what I mean by when I say grappling, that's what I mean by it.
No, I get what you mean because it's basically what TJ did.
Pretty much, and yeah.
It's not
doing
even
what TJ did, not getting hit as much.
Exactly, and the thing about it, people are salty just because like they say that those grappling exchanges were like boring or they weren't really doing anything. TJ didn't have control. He didn't do anything. He didn't land any effective strike. But the thing is, if you're both not doing nothing and one guy is on top, who's winning? The guy on top. Like, you're not, just because y'all both not doing nothing or he's not doing nothing with that takedown or that control that he's gotten, you're not either. You're getting controlled. So that means you can't get up, which means that I win the round. If it's a close round and I'm controlling you by just holding you, I won. Like, I don't get how people are saying. I get that. I understand that, like, oh, well, it shouldn't be that much of a it shouldn't play that big of a part in the decision. Mm-hmm. But if that's all that happened in a whole, like, almost a whole round, that guy won. Like, you can't really argue with that. The other guy didn't do anything. I
agree with you. The only thing that, like, my gripe is I think the judges should understand positions better.
Yeah.
I think, especially like on the ground, if a guy's inside another guy's guard, just because he's on top.
Now, see, that's different.
Doesn't necessarily mean, he's winning. Yep. And also, like, even against the cage, if the guy who's against the cage has underhooks and it looks like he's kind of controlling the guy, I'm not going to say escaping because then he would just escape. But you know how guys get underhooks, and I don't know the correct position because I'm not a wrestler, but when a guy gets underhooks and then he postures to the side and his leg is out and he kind of look like he's going to turn the guy, but it's controlled because he's not back against the fence, right, and he's protecting, from the knee, but there's not really much going on. Yeah. I don't think that just because it looks like the other guy's pressing him up against the fence.
They are.
Yeah, but
they are.
Right, but he's fighting for position as well.
Yeah, so but he's not winning it. If you're getting pressed up against the fence and you can't get off, whose fault is it you can't get off? It's mine, right? So like,
but what I'm saying is that he's not necessarily against the fence. I mean, it's just they're both like kind of like side, like when he's sideways, like when guys are kind of. Well,
that's what you want to do. So like basically, if my back's against a fence or a wall and I'm trying to get you off of me and we're both in like, say we're in like a 50-50 but like under over, mm-hmm, but my back is against a fence, what I want to do is get an underhook and try to circle to that same side with my arm up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
If you're doing that means that you're trying to get off, but you can't because he's holding you against the fence.
But I'm saying, what if you get halfway and guys kind of just like, because perfect example, right? So, like if a guy's trying to get the other underhook and mm-hmm, he's trying to circle off, and the other guy's pushing him back towards the fence, and the guy who was on the fence, he does a back trip or he takes the guy's back like from there because the guy's pushing him back into the fence. Like if the guy doesn't know those moves, like to take him down, like trip the like basically like a ankle trip from the back. If a guy isn't a wrestler and doesn't really know that, and they're just kind of there just struggling with each other, but it looks like the guy who has the guy near the fence is controlling because it just looks like he can't get off. But I think you should understand, but this guy is defending it well, so his attack is kind of neutralized. It's kind of like throwing a jab and getting a jab parried.
No, the thing is, when somebody's against the fence or pushing somebody against the fence, it's not necessarily because they're trying to attack you. It's most likely because they're tired and they don't want to really engage anymore, so they just hold you real hard. And that's what makes it look like, oh, we're both struggling, but we're really not. I'm just holding you. Like, but what if I just hold you and stall, there's really not much you can do because we're the same size and I might be a little bigger and I'm just holding you because I'm a better wrestler.
What if you're leaning me against the fence because you're tired and I get underhooks and you want to pull away and you can't pull away because I'm holding you to the fence?
Why would you hold me to the fence?
But I'm saying
Who are you, Tyron Woodley?
But
Like, why would
But
you
I'm
keep
saying,
your back on the fence?
It's not gonna. I'm dumb logic, but just stay with me. It's dumb logic because with you, I gotta like. You don't think outside the box. Everything is right there.
Well, no, because
so
in a fight, you're not thinking outside. Like, man, you know what?
No,
the referees are gonna look at me like I have my back against the fence.
Take away being in the fight and just think about the dominance in the position is what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
When a guy has underhooks, and because of the underhooks, the guy can't pull back away, you don't have the dominant position. Like, it's kind of neutral.
You do have the dominant position because his back is against the fence.
But you necessarily can't move either.
Man, you're just making it like.
No, I don't like
you're
that.
Making it
no,
difficult.
I don't like that. Like, if two guys are bear hugging each other, and just because.
Have you ever done wall work ever?
Yeah, for a day.
Bro, it's the thing is, if you're against the fence, even if you get 2 underhooks on somebody, all you have to do with those 2 underhooks is circle.
I know.
And you're out. If your back is against the fence, that means you don't want to win. I'm not gonna give you the round. I'm not even gonna be like,
if you're pushing me against the fence and I bear hug you, you can't pull back away from me.
Yeah, but you can also circle, and if you're not trying to, then why would somebody give you the round?
I get what you're saying.
You're keeping your back against the fence. That means you don't want to win.
I get what you're saying.
You're giving up position because the position that you want to be in is on the outside.
Okay, I got you. You're right. No, you're right.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying that it doesn't make sense.
In a fight, that's exactly what I would do. I'm just saying, when it comes to, I think, just in general, I think that they should have a better understanding of positions.
I do too. Do you think that the judges should be fighters, ex-fighters?
No, because the same thing with the best basketball players don't make the. No, that's a terrible analogy because that would be coaches.
Yeah.
Ex-fighters as judges. Let me think for a second.
Look at Bass Rutten. Bass Rutten's a judge, and he was a fighter when there was no rules.
certain
he got soccer kicked.
Certain fighters, I think, can be judges.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would never say no.
I think there should be like some kind of curriculum. I think they should have to answer certain questions and pass certain tests so they can get in there. I think
Woodley would make a good judge.
Me too. I think Dom, like all of these guys that are these analysts, they would make good judges. Like they should I think a lot of these guys would make good judges. I wouldn't say a lot, but I think there's some of these guys that would make really, really good judges. Like even DC. I think DC would be a good judge, but I don't know why they're not doing that. I don't know why they're not pushing for that.
I don't know. And also, I would like fights to be scored by round. I think that I don't know why that's not something.
Oh wait, they
like the official
you mean
score.
Like the numbers?
Yeah, you should. Yeah. After each round, you should have an official score because guys they watch a whole 5-round fight, and then because one guy rallies in the 5th round, you completely forget about certain rounds. Sometimes I feel like that happens.
No, they have to turn in scorecards after each round.
Official scorecards.
Yeah, they have to turn in scorecards. That's why it'll be like 10-9, 10-8, and then it'll be 10-10 or a 10-9 for somebody else. Like say I don't know how to do the math, but say like one fighter has this many points in 2 rounds, and then that fighter gets a 10-8. So like one fighter
it'll be 30-28.
Then it'll be 30-30, right?
No. 10-10-10 like if he won all 3 rounds.
Like if one fighter wins 2 rounds 10-9 and then the other fighter wins the last round 10-8, it's 30-30, right?
Yeah, that'll be 30-30.
Or something like that.
Or it'll be 27-27.
Something like that. Yeah. Whatever I suck at math. But then it would end a draw, but that guy won 2 rounds. That's why I'm like, that's what I thought you were talking about. Like, if I won this round and I won this round, then I won the fight.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't.
Because I don't like that.
I don't like that. No, because I'm trying to explain it so you understand it. Because I'm saying, I don't like that.
Yeah,
is what exactly. I'm saying. So
I don't like that. It could be a draw after like I win 2 rounds and then you win a 10-8 round because I'm really tired from beating you up. Then you win. It's 2-1. I should win, right? Like
no. It's a tie.
I guess
It's a tie.
I guess.
If you won 2 rounds, the fight ain't over to the end.
That's true, but you didn't finish me. So like,
But if I did enough to get a 10-8 round, I pretty much finished
you did enough to get a 10-8 round because you laid on top and
Okay,
just
that's
won by
not a
like pitter pat punches, and I just didn't do really
to
anything.
me, those aren't 10-8 rounds. Those are 10-9.
But they do score it like that.
I know.
though.
I don't like. Now that's what I
that
don't
either.
like. I think a guy has to like really be in trouble the whole round and like really hurt at the point where they're about to stop the fight.
Yeah, see,
throughout the whole round.
Yeah, I think
That's
that should
a
be 10-8s
round to
too.
me.
But that's where the slope gets a little too slippery because like I said, if you're gonna, you can't be too nitpicky with it because for one, the judges are regular people that don't really know about fighting and to begin with, and two, the scoring system is trash. So it's like it's really a slippery slope. You really can't be too nitpicky.
If a ref looks like he's gonna stop the fight more than 2 times in a round, that's when I think it's a 10-8.
So just going back a couple weeks since we didn't do a podcast on the UFC 266, the Merab and Marlon round, the first round, how would you have scored that? Because Merab got knocked down like what 3 times or something like that, and he was dang near asleep.
But he was competitive in that round too.
That's why I'm asking.
That's why it's not.
What would you have scored it?
What it is? Oh shoot!
I don't know what the official score was, but I can check. I don't know what the official score was, but that round was crazy.
Let's go back to that round. Merab hit Morales. No. Merab got hurt first.
Yeah, he got rocked real bad.
Fell twice.
Fell back. And then got up, got rocked again, dropped again, and then got Morales to the ground. Started trying to fight. I don't remember if he got him
I thought ended that round on the ground.
He might have. Oh yeah, because he was going to sleep. Yeah. But what round did that fight end in? Was it 2 or 3?
Man, I want to say 2.
I think it was 2
because Morales was messed up. He was tired, hurt, and he just quit.
Yeah, it was round 2.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I thought so. But how would you have scored that first round though? Because they were both hurt,
and that might have been a draw.
Yeah, it might have been, bro. Like
the way Merab,
I don't know,
finished though that round. I might have gave it to him.
How do they do a draw though? Do they do it 10-10 or 9-9? Like how do they score a draw?
Oh, you're killing my brain right now.
That's crazy. Because
I think it's 9-9.
That's wild though. That fight, bro. I don't know, cause I'm thinking like the way it started. You're right. The way it started, Marlon was killing him, but the way it ended, Marlon was asleep. I think. I don't know.
Marlon was asleep. No, I think Merab. I think Marlon had flashes of excitement. I think that was Merab's round though. I feel like Merab put it on him a lot more than Morales's like short explosions of excitement. Like I think that Merab was kind of like, once he gathered himself, Merab was beating him up for a minute. Yeah, like that whole Morales thing that happened within like 20 seconds, and then the rest was like Merab. And then Morales did have some good shots in there throughout the round, but for the most part, it was Merab. But one thing before you had said that I wanted to touch on was, so if a guy's like ground and pound, or just to the point where the other guy isn't competitive and the ref's going to stop him multiple times, right? We agree that should be a 10-8 round. Yeah. But how do you feel about, even with this pass card, if a guy's threatening like a submission for the whole round and a guy is just constantly like getting in it, getting out of it? Do you think that's still just a 10-9 round? Because the guy can't move, he can't get up, and
but he's also not winning though, because that's the thing. If you don't look at defense, if you're only looking at offense, then that guy that has been throwing up submissions wins. But he's not finishing those. If he's not finishing those and he's not locking them down,
but I'm saying,
what does the other guy get? Because defense is something too.
Like, but if a guy has like something tight, like a rear naked choke, right? He gets under the chin and he gets it. And then like literally the guy's close to like passing out, and then eventually he's able to get out, and then he gets back in it, right? And then he gets out. Like, would you consider that? Because I feel like they gave Khabib some 10-8 rounds like that.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
So
I would say yeah. especially if the other guy isn't doing anything at all but defending, because you can't win a match off pure defense unless you're Floyd.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because I mean, like you really can't. Oh, okay. So the scorecards were 10-9 Moraes, 10-9 Moraes, and 10-9 Merab. So Moraes won that first round officially on the scorecards. But I do agree with you. I do agree with you that the way it ended.
Back and watch
but
that
it just depends on, because it just depends on how long he was hurt. Like, because he was hurt for probably more than half the round, which is probably why Marlon won the round, because he probably had Merab hurt more longer than Merab had him hurt. That's why I was like, I still don't know, because I'm not even mad with that about that. It could have went either way, but that thing is wild, man. That fight was wild.
Yeah, that was a really good fight.
I think that was the best fight on the card, and even though it was one-sided, even though it was one-sided,
that Ortega,
bro, that wasn't a good fight though.
That round wasn't a good fight though.
Look,
is going down in history.
But that round 4, the only reason it was like exciting, it was round 3, wasn't it?
I thought it was round 4. Was
either
it round
3 or 4?
I thought it was 4. It was right before because 4 was the round 5 was the round that they almost stopped the fight.
4 was the round they almost stopped the fight when they were asking.
The round
when they were asking him the question was that that was round 5. Yeah, that was the start of round 5.
So it was round 4. The guillotine and the triangle was round 4, I believe.
But what was I saying about?
That's one of the greatest rounds I've ever seen.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so, because the thing is, it wasn't competitive.
It
wasn't competitive. It was Brian throwing up submissions and getting
not just
close
throwing
to
them up.
them,
no,
getting close to getting them.
I still don't know how he didn't tap to that guillotine.
I get that, but it was him being in submissions and Brian being close to getting them, but then Volk getting out. It wasn't like that action packed. And Volk won most of those rounds. That was probably the only round you could give to Ortega.
I'm just saying that round is one of the greatest rounds.
Like, other than that, it was 4-1 when Volkanovski was winning.
He's winning.
And actually, I think it was 3-2 because I gave Ortega round 1 just because he stumbled Volkanovski. But I think they officially gave Volkanovski round 1. So that's why it ended 4-1. I think
I gave Ortega 2 rounds, but I think one of the rounds, I think Volk kind of took it off.
What, round 5?
Well, no.
Because the first round
Ortega won round 5.
That's what they're saying, but I don't think so.
No, Ortega won round 5.
I don't think he did.
I think he did.
I think he won the round that he almost submitted him, and then I think he won the. I don't think he won the first round, but I would have, if any, given him that one just because he stumbled Volk a couple times. But that one was really close.
Just that round with that guillotine and then that triangle. That was.
I don't think that was that great of a fight though. That's an unpopular opinion.
To me, the only. Now I know there's a lot of fights that I'm missing, but if Brian would have finished that, to me that would have felt like when Anderson Silva fought Chael. And he finished him with that triangle.
Because Chael was putting it on him.
That's how I felt like Volkanovski was putting it on
him like that, though.
Ortega was getting... But I'm saying the fight was competitive, but then Ortega started to get beat. Like, he started to look bad. Like,
he was losing, but he wasn't getting done like Anderson was.
But Anderson wasn't really getting beat up. He was just getting taken down and just controlled. But so I'm just talking about, like, the way the tide just turned completely in the matter of, like...
A second.
Yeah. So I know there's like knockouts. I know there's knockouts like that, but just as far as like submission like that, I don't know if I've seen another one just like that. I'm trying to think of if a guy got heel hooked or if something crazy happened like that. Like I can't remember, but that to me that was crazy. But
it was good. It was a good fight, but it wasn't like, to me it wasn't that great. I thought that the Merab and
I can understand.
Marlon
I can understand that
was crazy.
I just think with everything,
especially since it was unexpected too.
Just with everything on the line, this being like the fight of the night, and like just I don't know, it's a lot in there. But no, the Merab Morales fight was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy. That whole that card, man, was
that whole card was pretty good, man.
How do you feel about Valentina? Since we're talking about it, might as well.
Yeah,
not getting her out of here to the 4th round.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's just because she wanted to. That was basically just sparring for her. Lauren was trying, Valentina wasn't. That was really all it was. And like I said before, it was. I mean, when you go in there and you know you're defeated already, you really got nothing but to just throw caution to the wind. Like you just gotta go. Like you can't stand there in front of her. You got to try to throw some Francis Ngannou punches because you're not gonna beat her. Like you got to try to get lucky because you're not winning a technical battle against her. It's just not gonna happen. But if you know that, then you should go in there like Francis did against Rosenstruck, and that's it.
Yeah, that was one of the funniest fights.
Hope for the best.
Oh, that was so funny.
He threw 13 punches and landed 1. And he got hit more. Rosenstruck actually landed more punches. That's crazy.
And I blinked and that fight was over.
Yeah, for real. It really was.
So let's go from speaking about the biggest guys in UFC.
Yeah, since we're talking about Francis.
And he's scheduled to fight Cyril Gane.
Yep, in January.
Cyril Gane has the interim title.
Yep. I think Cyril Gane wins that fight. I'm sure they know who's better because they've sparred together. And I just think it's Cyril, man. I think Cyril's just better everywhere. I do. He might not be more powerful, and that's always the deciding factor in heavyweight fights, and that's always everybody's argument in heavyweight fights. But the better fighter is Cyril.
I agree, and I'm gonna take Cyril Gane 2nd round submission.
Hey, Francis is a black belt. Francis is a black belt.
Yeah,
Don't
we'll
play with
see.
him. He ain't playing with you.
This ain't Derek Lewis. He gonna be in there with. No, I think Cyril Gane stays on the feet with him. I like the way Cyril Gane, he pressures you, but he doesn't pressure you by coming forward. He just keeps a lot of things coming at you.
Yep, exactly.
And I think that's gonna get Francis tired because you know Francis he has cardio issues in the past, and I think when you throw a lot of punches at Francis, he can't load up and throw his shots.
Yep.
And because guys kind of get caught when they kind of freeze up and give Francis that chance to throw those.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're standing there flat-footed and exactly.
But if you're staying, light on your feet and like how Stipe was constantly throwing, constantly moving his head, I see Cyril Gane doing the same thing. And then come the 2nd round, I think Cyril shoots and gets the takedown, and I think that he's gonna get it by rear naked choke. So.
All right, that makes sense actually too, because
then he goes on to lose to John Jones.
The biggest hole in Francis's game it's got to be his ground game. It's got to be his wrestling. So I think that's a possibility, or like Joe Rogan would say, it's entirely possible.
Yeah. Francis might get the submission. Can you imagine putting like $100 on Francis by submission?
Oh man, that would be wild. That would be wild.
So I only got a few more things I want to talk about. Not sure
I really don't have much.
But Henry Cejudo, man,
he's entered the USADA testing pool.
He's ready to come back for one fight and one fight only. Does he deserve it?
I think he does, man.
Me too.
I think he deserves it. Now there could be arguments made for like, okay, maybe he should take a different fight, or maybe he should do this or that because he's been off. But I think he deserves it, man. Like, a guy came down to his weight class. He beat that guy. He went up to another weight class. He beat that guy. And he defended the belts? I think he might have defended
one.
Yeah, I think he defended one. That was the 35. Because he beat Dom. Yeah. Keith Peterson, come on, man. But he beat Dom.
Wait, did he defend the 120? He won it.
He defended the 125 against TJ.
He defended both.
Yeah, so he did defend both. Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, he won both belts, defended both belts. Even though I don't agree with the decision over Demetrius Johnson, I thought DJ won, but it's still a win.
It's a win.
And it's still a win.
The level of competition that he fought to have
the level of competition. Yeah,
so
I think he deserves it.
I think that Dana's gonna. I think he should get it. I just don't think. Okay.
And they're like the same height too, so like that's perfect.
But for a guy like Henry Cejudo, who's an Olympic gold medalist. He's won 2 belts and defended them.
Yep.
If he fights Volkanovski to win his 3rd belt, that doesn't even do the number of buys that if Volkanovski fights Max Holloway. That's the problem, in my opinion.
You don't think that Cejudo is more popular than Max?
No, I don't.
You're crazy.
He's not, in my opinion. I don't think he is.
You're crazy.
No, I don't think he is, man.
Bro, I'm about to look. I'm gonna look
especially after the 2 fights that Volkanovski and Holloway had.
Because
people want to see Max fight
the MMA community wants to see the MMA because Max is popular with MMA fans and maybe gamers.
No, after that, dude, when Max beat up Brian Ortega, casuals started paying attention to Max.
Hold on, look. Let me search these guys because popularity.
Our boy Q knows who Max Holloway is.
Popularity is only Twitter, right? That's all that they really go off of. So let's see, Max Holloway. How many followers he has on Twitter?
Cejudo's on Twitter way more than Max.
701.3K.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure Triple C probably got more than that.
I mean, Cejudo's on, like, he's a social guy, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Max
He's more
chilling.
popular.
I don't think he's more popular. He's just more in people's face. More people, I think,
if
like
more
Max.
people know him, he's more popular.
More people like Max.
How many did I say he had?
700K.
Cejudo got less.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yep, you're right.
A lot of people like, and it's not just that people want to watch Max. People like Max, and they like.
He's a genuinely good guy. But,
but it's his style of fighting too. It's like Conor. Like, people who aren't like balls deep into MMA want to see 2 guys stand and bang, and that's what
that's true.
Max is gonna do. So it's like when Max fought Ortega, I feel like that's when Max went to superstar level as far as people outside of the UFC community or MMA community. I think, and that's the problem. I think that why would you set up Cejudo, Volkanovski, and everything, that's just doing Cejudo a favor. But if Max wins his fight against Yair and you do those against Volkanovski, you're gonna make more money. Like that. Now that's back in your favor. So if you're a businessman, it just makes more sense. Maybe after the like if Volkanovski beats Max, then maybe you throw Cejudo. Like, okay, like who else is he gonna fight right now? Like, okay, Cejudo, you can fight him. But right now, it just, as far as money wise, I don't think it makes sense.
I don't know. I
he deserves
disagree.
it though. He definitely. I think he deserves it.
I think it'll do some decent pay-per-views.
I mean, it'll do decent, but not like Max Volk 3, man.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Oh man,
it could be big, man. But I just don't like that Max is quote unquote lost 2 times to him already, because then it's like, if it's the same thing a 3rd time, then what? Do you do a 4th?
You gotta give you gotta just give it to Volk. I think because there's been boxing matches like that.
But I mean, like, Max is still up there with, like, the only person that's beat him is that guy. So, like, do you give him another title shot off of 1 more win, or do you make him win 5 more fights? Do you make him go up a weight class? What do you do with him?
Pacquiao fought Juan Manuel Marquez 5 times.
This ain't boxing, bro.
No, but what I'm saying, the reason I'm using that is because if it's close fights, the interest is gonna always be there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying those 2 losses don't really matter, especially because a lot of people thought Max won.
Yeah.
So,
but if it's a 3rd, then that's what I'm saying. Like the 2, but with the 3rd, what do you do? Like, you can't just give him a 4th, bro. You can't.
No, you don't give him a 4th. But
unless it's maybe like 3-4 years down the line, maybe. But then
but it's like
you lost
at this
3
point
times.
you can't.
He has your number.
You can't like think that far down the line. The money is there for number 3, so it's like you got to make number 3.
It is there, but I mean, I'm just asking you, like, personally, what do you think that they should do if he does lose?
If he does,
do you think he should go up? How do you even think he would do at 55? No. Like, I don't think he can beat the guys at 55.
I don't think he should go up, but I don't think he should. I think it should be 2-3 fights before he gets another shot, and by then I'm sure things will get. I would say
even more than that, bro. Like, you gotta get like 3-4 fights.
You can't throw him all the way down.
Man, No, it's not that he's down in the ranks or nothing. He's still ranked. It's just that he's fighting
I
these
don't
up
think
and
he
comers.
should be number one. Like if you lose a third time, I think you go down to like number 4.
Yeah,
4 or 5. Stay in the top 5,
Right,
but
yep.
you got to fight a guy who's number 8. You got to fight a guy that's number 3.
Yep.
You know,
That's
you
how
got to
you
do
work.
those
That's
fights.
how you got up there. So yeah, you got to do the same
And build.
Yep.
And if it's a 4th fight, if you build the interest back up, then I mean, if Volkanovski's still the champion after defending 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
that might be. And then if Max does lose and beats, 4 or 5 guys in a row and comes back or something, that would be. There's still that's going to be a crazy fight again.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got to go fight some more people. And that, to be honest, man, right now, like, there's a lot of good prospects at 145. There aren't any like household names.
Exactly.
Really.
That's what I was
But I
saying
think
earlier.
In a couple years, there will be.
Yep.
So
Yeah, there's
I
there's
wouldn't
like
definitely
5.
stay.
There's like
I would
5
stay.
undefeated guys at featherweight right now.
145 and 170 in like 3 years to me is going to be crazy. I think 2 to 3 years is going to be crazy.
I
and
agree
I say
with the
heavyweights
145.
are
I
kind of
wouldn't
like.
say 170 though. I just don't see anybody coming up from there.
I think so, man. I've seen some.
Who do you see?
Don't ask me to pronounce their names. I don't know. I've seen, but
you got Shavkat and Hamzat,
there's just
and those are two of my favorite prospects. I hope those trains, those hype trains, don't collide because I want to see that fight later. I want to see them after they've already came up.
You got Vicente Luque.
Vicente Luque is already up there though.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm
like
talking
people
about,
that are still
you're talking
not
about
ranked
like,
or lower ranked that are gonna come up like years from now.
I've seen, don't quote me on this, but I've seen just seeing certain guys. I've seen guys at 170 who like took fights and they're not ranked or anything, but they look really good. And I was like, oh man, a couple years, like this dude's gonna be really good. I don't remember the names right now, but that's just my prediction.
Right,
I just think 170, 145. I think heavyweight is right behind there.
Heavyweight is really looking good right now. Like it's usually really old guys, but right now they got some decent. They got some decent people.
I think that heavyweight is drawing the most eyes.
Well, yeah, that's just always that's how it was set
for a
up to
while
be.
It wasn't though.
It wasn't, but that's how it's set up to be.
And I think that that's perfect because, especially with Francis, John, Cyril Gane, Derek Lewis, like guys like that, and you see, there's gonna be, I think, a lot of athletes who come out at 235 who are like, hey, I'm gonna jump into MMA, and make a run.
I agree,
and that's gonna make it exciting. I'm all for the guys who are 265. 270, and like I know Francis is up, but Francis is a good shape at. I mean, the dude's huge.
That dude is.
But Derek Lewis,
crazy.
most like the guys who are coming up and are excited, they're around 235, 245.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect for heavyweight to make it really exciting. Because you get the kicks, you get the wrestling, you get the punch. Like it's not just punch for punch.
The excitement is like being on the edge of your seat because one punch is the touch of death from all of them. Like almost all of them. Like they all have that just one punch, just killer. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Right now, personally, I think that 135 is the best, and 155.
Oh, right now, yeah.
Right now at this moment, yeah.
Has the deepest to me.
Dom and Pedro Munoz are supposed to be fighting, in December. So, I mean that's pretty good, especially like. Cody Garbrandt got knocked out by Pedro Munoz, but he beat Dom. So like if Dom beats this guy, then it's kind of like, okay, well, I just beat the guy that beat you. So it's like
I don't like that.
I don't really need to get that. I don't really need to get that win back.
You do.
Do you think think
styles make fights?
Do you think that that's the same fight as when it happened the first time? Because I don't think Cody's,
Dom was hurt.
Yeah, he's always hurt.
Yeah, but Dom's foot was like
he had 2 broken feet in that fight. But yeah.
No, I don't think it'll be the same fight. And then Cody Garbrandt, look where he's at in his career.
Exactly.
That's gonna be a completely different fight. Yeah. So I think,
and the crazy part,
I would like to see that fight.
I wouldn't say I want to see that. I want to see the Pedro Munoz and Dom, but I think it's crazy because now TJ's up there with the talks of getting a title shot again, and Dom has a win over him, so he can really use that card if he plays his cards right.
I know you love Dom. You can't use that card right now. He can
use that card, bro. Like
he's gonna have to win a fight like how TJ just did.
He'll have to win this fight that he just got.
That's not big enough.
He beat Corey
Munoz
Sandhagen with some
who's a top ranked guy. But that was a really.
But you don't think Dom can do that same thing to Corey Sandhagen?
I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying he has to do it.
He will.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying he has to.
That's what I'm saying. He can play that card like because he has this fight. After this fight, if he wins, he can play that card like, oh well, I have a win over this guy already.
He can play the card.
So why don't you fight me, TJ? Since you ain't fighting for the belt, fight me.
He has to get a win over a guy like Rob Font, and then he's right up there with TJ.
Dom's ranked like number 8 or something like that. And isn't Pedro Munoz ranked like 3rd or 4th? I don't remember the exact rankings, but they did change because because TJ.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see, 135. But yeah, I think that if he wins against Pedro Munoz, he can really, because TJ got an ego. He got a big ego. So if Dom starts teasing him about like, oh yeah, you lost to me and blah blah blah, he's gonna want to fight Dom, and then I need my win back, and he's gonna try to get that win.
I think
that's
TJ,
the same fight.
It would make more sense for TJ just to wait.
Yeah, it would.
But
that don't mean he's going to.
He would make more money if he fought Dom and then, or not even more. Okay, no, not even more money. There'd be more anticipation for the winner of that fight to get a title shot.
Yep,
that's what I mean by that.
Or if he fought Rob Font, like yeah. But if he just goes straight into a title shot,
war. Dom needs a war like TJ just had, or a really like if he beats Pedro Munoz like
decisively, like the old Dom,
I guarantee people are gonna be like, hey, TJ not fighting nobody.
Still got it, yeah.
So
I agree with that, but
he's got to really be, and it sucks for Dom because that's not fair. Because TJ, like, it's just the way TJ won that people are, people are gonna be like, hey, Dom, you got to win. And with a guy like Pedro Munoz, he has that shot to do that. I mean, that guy's gonna stand in front of him all night, and he's gonna be trying to throw. And if Dom's able to stay out the way, how Dom, is being shifty, and he puts it on Pedro Munoz, and he has the ability to look really good against him. So we'll see. Avoid some leg kicks. Throw those pillows out there, man.
Right, for real. Pillow fist, man.
But so we got some fights this weekend. You remember the
kind of a boring card?
Yeah,
Dern and Marion Rodriguez.
Okay,
that's the main event. So I'm not really excited for this card. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury boxing match. Yeah, that's what
I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah.
So you taking Tyson Fury in that?
Yes, sir. You already know.
Yeah, I'm taking.
I didn't like all the excuses that Deontay had, for one, and for two. He's just not good. He's just not that good technically. He's
delusional. And I'm scared for Deontay Wilder what's going to happen after this. If he loses, I'm going to put down $500 on Tyson Fury. Just because this is one of the most, I want to see the odds. If Fury isn't a big favorite, because I guess Vegas is gonna place depending on what the people bet, or the the big bettors, and hopefully, man, I can get Fury at a good line. Yeah, and it's not too high. I'm thinking minus 270, maybe minus 300. But if it's minus 500, 600, then no. But if he stays around there, man, I'm put some big money on him, because big money to me. I'm gonna put on Fury because. I think that Fury has his number. He's got his timing down. He knows with that power shot. It's a right hand coming. Fury's gonna get him out of there in 3, man.
I agree. I think it's gonna be. I don't think it goes past 6. I don't think it goes.
And
past
it sucks
6.
because Deontay Wilder had fired his corner man because he threw in the towel. I think they're cool now. I don't know if he's gonna be cornering him.
I wouldn't.
But I wouldn't either. But the guy in his corner now, he's not gonna throw the towel in. Deontay already said he wants to go out on his shield. So I see it just a third round beating.
Yeah.
Like I just think he's gonna get beat till he can't keep fighting. Unfortunately, you know.
Yep.
I like Deontay Wilder. There's nothing against him as a person. To come from where he came from, started boxing at like 20 years old.
Yes, it's all impressive, man.
So,
all of his stats are impressive. Don't get me wrong, but just technically, he's just not the better fighter in this fight, and he's gonna get exposed.
He's fighting the best heavyweight boxer in the world.
Exactly.
You know, Tyson Fury is the real deal, man. I've been a big fan of his. Anthony Joshua just lost recently, so
yeah,
I never was like that high on Anthony Joshua, but there are some other prospects out there for Fury to fight, but I don't see anybody beating him right now.
Yeah, no, nobody's beating him.
Well, was there anything else you want to talk about before we got out of here?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, man. We hope you guys appreciate. We appreciate you guys, and we hope you guys enjoyed listening to us. This is the From a Fan's Perspective podcast. We're gonna go ahead and exit off this audio journey.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, every time, have you ever seen the painter Bob Ross?
Yeah,
that's what I like. Every time I start talking on the podcast, like I'm like, man, I gotta pick my energy up. I picture myself painting this beautiful ass canvas.
Yeah. I'd be feeling like that too. I'm like, man, why are we so like soft, like talking so softly?
Yeah, like, dude, I swear I'm picturing myself like walking through a forest, like just painting. Anyways, man, we hope you guys enjoyed it, man, because we like doing this.
Yeah, and we didn't really have anything to go off of today, especially because this boring card coming up. Well, I wouldn't even say boring, but
no, we gotta appreciate it though, man.
Lackluster card
Dana's giving us fights.
Yeah,
you know we can't be spoiled.
We missed out on the one last week because family comes first. So we kind of just freestyled today. So
yeah, but it was a good pod though, man.
Yeah,
I think people are gonna enjoy this one. And like we said, it's an audio journey. If you guys been following us, we were doing video, but now we're switching to audio because we want to give you guys a better listening experience and then give the visual later. But we think the audio comes first, especially like with, you know, talking about MMA and fighting and things like that. And, you know, if you guys are working like us, you know, you got one headphone in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm your boy JB.
And your boy Mr.
And that's it. We out.
Peace.
Yeah, they can't see your peace signs now.
Yeah, I know.